When I found out I was pregnant, I was scared and I tried to run. Even in my homelessness, I was trying to run away from that reality because I was scared. I knew that I didn't know what I was going to do.
Back when my father abandoned me, I vowed to never do that again. Circumstances came up and I had a child, and I was in the midst of my addiction. I did exactly, down to a T, what my dad did. I can't really remember exactly where I was at because I was all over the place, couch surfing, streets or whatever. I know I was high, and I know that I was unreliable, untrustworthy, and I was selfish.
I didn't use drugs or alcohol or prescriptions while I was pregnant. I had a good few years there where I finished my medical assisting school, did some college, but I went right back into it. It was easy. I worked for a doctor with the prescriptions. At 13 was the first time that my mom, my birth mom, would buy me alcohol. So from a young age, alcohol was fine, marijuana was fine, and then I crushed my foot, and that's when I was introduced to painkillers. I thought, okay, I just gotta get rid of these drugs in me and I'll be okay, and that wasn't the case. Thanksgiving of 2014, my oldest daughter said it would be best to go live with her dad. At that point, I wasn't happy, I wasn't joyful, I wasn't able to get up and go do the normal activities that I was used to doing. So I told her, yes, I think that's in your best interest, and I dropped her off and I dropped my youngest daughter off, and I was going to commit suicide. My best friend called me right before. That was my rock bottom before I came to Ganabin.
Throughout the whole pregnancy, I had not gotten attached to her because I felt that I was going to have to give her up. I was riding the bus one day and I just felt that weight of that I had to give her up. A lot of negative and dark thoughts came in and I relapsed. And a few days later, she was born. And so she was taken away a few hours after her birth.
So my grandparents were addicts. My parents were addicts. I'm an addict. So far, everybody in my family, save a couple, are alcoholics and addicts. There's only been a few of us that made it out. I avoided him completely. I went and saw him once when he was in a little incubator, but I knew that I couldn't provide anything for him. It terrified me. It was my own pain and addiction that kept me away from him, and he didn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that now. He needs to be loved and taken care of just as God takes care of us, when it was impossible for me to do that without going through that program and getting what I got through it, It was impossible to give the love until I had the love. One positive part that I learned from the program is I can rewrite the past. And in this case, I can treat my son and be a part of my son's life and quite possibly heal my past with my father. Make up for it, give him the life that I never had.
Being in relationship with all the ladies there, that was really hard for me at first. To be in an open community where you're vulnerable and everything's exposed almost every day, it's life-changing. Now I find joy when I see Ava or Lillian, and we color. I'm in the moment. I wasn't ever present. I feel like I was almost going through the motions rather than feeling emotion.
There was an agreement with my CPS worker, if I go to UGM, that I would have custody of her. She was returned the day after I got to UGM. The love and acceptance that I got from the staff and the volunteers is what really brought me out to speaking up about my struggles, and I was getting the truth of the gospel poured into me. It was all very new to me, and it was what gave me hope for my future, what really gave me the truth that I needed about my life and about who I was so I could be a whole person for my daughter.
The most important part of breaking that cycle is finding God. God is the key ingredient to all of this. And now that I've learned the tools from the program to be healthy and try to stay healthy, I need to teach them to my son, the life skills that I never learned, the ability to press through something, to have courage instead of run or cower down, to go out and look for a job.
Losing all hope and seeing I have a long line of generations of addiction, seeing them go into different treatments, and it not being faith-based, I knew I needed something different. And I always believed in God. I would go to church when I was younger, but I never had that relationship until December of 2014.
Well, today I'm married. I have my own place. I have a job. I have everything that I thought a man should have. Plus, I have hope, I have courage, I have everything that I thought I'd never have.
I have met and married a wonderful man, Eric, and I am truly blessed that he is in my life and my girls' life. It's very different because we are able to communicate well to each other.
I would say the most enjoyable moments with Celine is when she's in a really silly mood and she just wants to laugh and play, and I get to delight in her. I know my worth. I'm confident in Jesus. I am confident in His plans for me. I don't have fear. That enables me to be the kind of mom I want to be because I'm giving my daughter a message of hope and strength and a life that I never thought I could.
My oldest, she's old enough to just see the changes, tell me, Mom, you've changed so much, and she enjoys it. She enjoys, seeing me laugh, doing different activities together, and me being present in that. There's a huge difference in that. That curse is going to end. It's ending with me. It's not going to continue anymore, and not is it only going to affect my girls, but it's going to affect their girls.
My wife calls me giddy. We have a lot of fun. We joke, we're screaming, running around the house. I'm acting like a little kid, and when he's there and we're all just hanging out, we're painting a piggy bank, or whether we're watching a movie or whatever we're doing, it feels like I'm home. Everything's complete. It feels like, life finally came around.